Hi guys, welcome back to the 52 weeks project. This week we are working on week number 6. So let's quickly recap here. This was week 5 and we did this layout here with the 2 3x3, and for this week I had quite a bit of pictures, so I'm going to do the 4 pictures. I usually prep my pieces and photos and I sneak them into my page protector. That way I'm ready to go. You can absolutely assemble your page on the back here. I'm going to use this base only because I take pictures for the videos. So we're going to use the 6x8 base and we're going to use this sketch right here. This is a really quick sketch because your bottom picture takes pretty much half the page, right? So we're going to add our little photos. These are 2x2s. And I'm going to sneak this piece of pattern paper. Now you can see that it's not cut to size because again we're using our scraps and that's the one that I had. So it worked out pretty good. I really like it, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of interest on this page, and I'm gonna add a little bit of glitter, and I chose to use mint. So the paper collection I'm using has this accent color. And since most of my pictures in February are probably going to be cold and blue, the mint color works really, really well. So even though we are trying to stay true to a February theme of love, I really liked this color for these pictures right here. So I'm going to pop these down. Oh, but first, since this piece is not cut to size, I'm going to start with this piece right here. I'm going to ink distress the black only because this is something that I like to do. It's not necessary, so we're just going to pop that at the top of the page right here, just like so. And then I'm going to add a little bit more ink just at the top here just to kind of finish it off. Now I can pop my little 2x2s. So I'm going to add the first one right here. I'm going to add a little Tombow glue on the back, and they just line up perfectly. So I really like the 2x2 format. I use PicMonkey to edit my photos and crop them, but there's tons of apps out there. I'm sure that you have your preference as well. So since this is glitter paper, I'm going to ink distress that as well. I'm just going to pounce on there so that I don't damage my tool, and we're just going to sneak that right at the top. So this is at the top of the photos because my photos are only 2x2. I didn't want to hide them too much. And then this guy is going to go at the top of the 6x4. So again, we're going to quickly here add a little bit of ink to the edges just to finish it all off. I don't know if you guys like to ink or not, but this is something that I've done for years and it's kind of hard for me not to do it. So I'm going to pick out those little hearts, and definitely you could use micro dots here. I guess I couldn't find them, so I'm going to pull my tweezers. I added a little bit of Tombow glue, and I like to use a little post-it note and kind of remove the excess from the back of those little elements so they don't ooze out when you put them down. I tend to put a lot of glue. I'm not sure why. You would think by now I would know better, but it's okay. I always find a way to make it work. So let's look at this months of the year for February. And I thought the little XOXO would be really cute in mint. So I pulled that 4x6 piece, you know, from the original 12x12 piece that we cut at the beginning of the month. So I'm going to ink up here the little image in mint ink, and then I'm going to fussy cut it. Now, full disclosure here, I don't like to fussy cut. I guess because I'm left-handed and cutting is always a little bit of a challenge, but with the micro tip scissors that we have at Close to My Heart, I actually can manage to fussy cut. Not my favorite thing to do, but you know what? Sometimes it needs to get done. So it looks pretty good, and I think sometimes we're our own worst critics. So it's not perfect, but it's the best that I can do being a left-handed crafter here. So we're going to pop that right at the top, and then I'm going to add, just to keep true to the theme of the book, I'm going to add the little keyboard upper alphabet set. So this is a retired set, and a lot of people have asked me about this one. So the number, but I'm not sure if you can find it or not by the number, is B1416. So it's a pretty old set, but I've held on to it and I'm really, really happy. So you can see here that I'm just like snipping on each side of those little tiles, and I'm not even leaving a white border. Basically, it's just a little way to identify the weeks, and it's just kind of a nice thing to have in your book. So I kind of needed to move this, and I guess the crafting fairies were with me that day because it didn't rip the paper. I just needed to give myself a little bit more room at the top to add those little tiles. So once again here I'm going to use a little bit of Tombow, and I'm going to remove the extra glue so that it doesn't go all over my page. So I'm going to pop those down, and then I'm going to take my little XOXO and I'm just going to move it right on top. So I just needed to give myself a little bit more room because there wasn't a lot of room to put embellishments and fussy, put fussy things on this page, but you kind of have to find that perfect little spot for it, and I think that it looks good right here. So the last thing that I'm going to do here is do my journaling, and I do print my journaling on my printer, and I just print it on cardstock. And I was trying to figure out where am I going to put this journaling, and now that I'm looking at this, it kind of looks good up here, but it was really hiding all of the pattern paper. So I kind of played with it. Do I want it here at the bottom? But then it was kind of interfering with the picture, so I ended up putting it right here at the bottom of the photo, and that's where it's gonna live. It's not a lot of journaling. Basically here what I'm saying is that, hey, we found a new trail this month, and we went walking for almost an hour and a half, almost 2 actually. It was a little cold, but it was fun. And these little guys here, the little hearts, were perfect for this page. So I'm going to use liquid glass, and I've transferred my liquid glass into a smaller bottle only because, yes, here it is super cold and the liquid glass doesn't flow properly. So I found that when you have it in a smaller container, it's a lot easier to manage and it doesn't clog up as much. So that's what I did for my liquid glass. That's my completed page for week number 6. So as always, I hope you're still following along, and here's a quick shot of week 5 and 6. Don't forget to take pictures, and if you're brand new and you're just catching up with us, here is the complete playlist for the entire 52 weeks from week 1 to week 6. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and have yourself a great day.